Welcome back to my workshop. A few people have asked me about a shop tour, and I've only got a small shop, so this won't take long. So I thought I'd give you a quick walk around and a quick demonstration on how I use some of my tools. So here we go. So we're inside the house at the moment, and if I want to go to the garage, I have to go this way. Follow me. Here's the way. Hi guys. And this is where you see me. Right, so what we'll do is we'll walk around the workshop this way. Basic information, the workshop's about 24 foot long this way and about 8 foot this way. So not very big at all. It was originally a car parking pool out the front of my house, and about 7 or 8 years ago we filled it in and put a garage door on it. One garage. The back of the garage, the original garage, is now a storeroom, so effectively this is a garage and a half length of workshop. So let's get going. So just to the right hand side of my workbench here, I've got my SIP 14-inch bandsaw. This is recently replaced a DeWalt unit that I used to have, which was only a 12-inch bandsaw, and the distance here was just not enough for cutting anything big. It was a good little saw, and I had it for a few years, but I upgraded it to this one. I did want the Rickel power one, but that was a bit too expensive. So I've got the SIP one, which basically is as good. I might do a review on that if anyone's interested. Just let me know. Okay, underneath my bandsaw I have a little roller cabinet there with a couple of Festool boxes in here, and obviously, as you can see, the whole thing is on wheels, so it can be pulled out, and I have some more storage in the back. So this is handy when you want to cut something long in the middle of the shop. Always handy to have things on wheels. I'm a big fan of having things on wheels. Okay, so that's my bandsaw. Now over this way is my CNC machine. Built this about 2 or 3 years ago. Highly recommend building one of these. It was quite a good project. Bought the main chassis and the original stepper motors and all of the mechanisms from Ooze Nest. Let's just quickly show you here. Ooh, Ooze Nest. Ooh. Which are a company in Brentwood in England. It was quite expensive when I bought it. I think they're slightly cheaper now. I would have opted for a slightly larger one if I had the room. But this gives me enough capacity for what I do. It's running on a basic old computer, which I have down here, which is an old quad-core machine. And next to it here, I have the control box, which has got all the drivers for the stepper motors in here. Next to that, I have some more Festool boxes. These are smaller boxes. Which contain some smaller kit and spares, such as sanding discs, etc., and CNC tools, pocket hole jig, etc. Very handy if you want to take something small out anywhere. You literally just grab the box. Okay, again, if anyone's interested, and want to see me do anything on this, you know, a quick review, let me know. I didn't video any of the actual build. I'll have some photographs if anyone's interested. The software I'm running is Mac-free software for the control of the CNC machine, and Metric Aspire for any design work. Right, next to that I have my wood store. Oh yeah, by the way, this is on wheels, so again I can move it around the workshop. Next to it here I have some levels, broom, extension lead. Okay, and here, let's get a bit further away, some wood store. This is on wheels as well. I very rarely have to move it. I've recently moved it out because I've painted the floor. Having it on wheels is quite handy sometimes because you can pull it out and put some bold wood behind it. Right over in the corner here I have some old mechanic-y stuff. I have an expansion tank here for my air compressor. It's an extra 50 litres if I need an expansion tank. You can actually charge that up with air and use some very small air tools away from the actual compressor. Axle stands, etc., from old previous life as a mechanic. And up here, let's get some. Here is some cupboards which have got, these ones have got loads of old Haynes manuals and a polisher, etc. Behind me here I've got a stack of OCD boxes. As the Gospel handyman would say, these are OCD boxes. I need to build a cabinet for these. I might actually use his design for a container or a box to put these in. I'll get around to that next. Up here, more rubbish in these cupboards. Got one of these, tried it, didn't actually finish making the project. It's a little cyclone. Here I have various holes in the door. You can just about see those. That was from doing archery. Yeah, they go straight through. Not very good. Over in the corner here I have some bits of wood that are seasoning. Some hazelwood here and half a pear tree that I got from my mother-in-law's garden, which I intend to turn into some small bowls. Okay, and here next to that I have my lumber storage rack. Now I've only just made this. Didn't cost me much at all. It's made out of bits of old ply and a couple of battens. I've done a separate video for this. I can put that together just in case you're interested in storage. I've got hardwood at the bottom, some softwood in the middle, and at the top I've got some old flooring, which is a combination of both, which is softwood with a hardwood, about 4 or 5 mil hardwood veneer, which has been very handy. Made loads of bird boxes out of that. That's next to the boiler, which is in the way, but it does help because this obviously keeps warm, keeps this dry. Good times. Right, next to this, or in the middle of this, is my Fox planer thicknesser, which I've only just recently bought. It's obviously second hand, but very useful. Okay, so yeah, 10-inch planer, and the thicknesser is obviously how big is that? It's about 150 mil thick. I think I can actually thickness. I'll do a review on that at some point in the near future. Very good tool, highly recommend that. Next to that, a stool and a bin, and another stool and another stool. Can never have enough stools. Right, so up here, which I've only just put on the wall, as an extractor. I bought this from a boot sale. Now it's a red Scorpion, and I think this assembly with the blower and the carbon filter should be about 250 quid. I got it from the boot sale, 15 quid. Good times. Right on the wall next to it, I've got some long sash clamps. I do want to get myself some Bessie clamps of similar length. These are very heavy duty, very heavy. I've had to hang them on the wall to keep them out of the way. Down here, my shop vac, which I got from Lidl's, and it's got the power takeoff for power tools. So if you plug a power tool into it, as soon as you start the power tool, then the vacuum starts. Very good. I've had that for about 3 or 4 years, and it's been faultless. Really good. I've changed the filter once. Highly recommend those. If they have those in Lidl's again, get one. Okay, over here to my lathe. Okay, here we go. Lathe. Okay, so it's a cast lathe. Previously I had a 40-inch lathe, which I think was from Machine Mart. It was a bit light duty. It was good because you could actually split it in the middle and do some really long pieces of work. One of them I've actually done, I did a tiller for somebody. I turned for a boat, so it was quite long. And I did that by actually clamping one end of the lathe to one end of the bench and the other end to the other, and basically had a really long lathe. That's gone. Now I've got this SIP. It's very good. The only problem I would say with it is the drive mechanism. It relies on 2 variable ratio sprockets, or cones. And because I use it as a sander sometimes, the cones fill up with dust, and then they don't move and separate. So he ends up with the belt slips. But now I've got my sander. I shouldn't be using this much for sanding, so hopefully that issue will go away, and this will be good. Next to that, I've only just mounted it here. It's been in the cupboard for about 2 or 3 years. My Rickel Power 8-inch bench grinder. It's quite a powerful machine. Got a wheatstone on this side, quite a cool stone on this side, so I use this for sharpening my chisels here, which are all my wood turning chisels. Apart from these ones, obviously, which are very nice tungsten carbide tips. Yeah, I like them a lot. Okay, underneath there we have this cupboard's got some engine oily type stuff, so I'll keep that for the car. That's the most convenient place for it. This cupboard here, you'll see this in another video. This is now for my sander. As you can see, it's got sliding doors. When I designed the garage, I decided to have sliding doors because if you have doors that open, if there's something in the way, you can't open the door. So you end up reaching in and throwing things in. So if I have sliding doors, then I can slide them up, put things in, slide them down, job done. All of them are like that. There's another one here which I can probably demonstrate. This one here has got my saws and some lever bars. Works very well. It's just 12mm ply, just painted. Next to that, oh God, tripod. Next to that, I have some drawers. Again, sanding, paints and glues, paintbrushes, varnishes and stains, and the bottom two are hardware where I've got things like hinges and wheels. I've got, everything's on wheels, so I've got a spare lot of wheels. Okay, moving around a bit further here. This is an old Kennedy roller cabinet with woodworking tools. This is all my woodworking tools, and the one next to it is all my mechanic tools. Obviously, I used to be a mechanic, so this is quite old. This is not as old, so it's probably only about 15 years old. But yeah, everything woodworking related is in here. Things like drill bits, masonry drill bits, wood drill bits, drill drivers, a small hole saw, screwdrivers, Allen keys, scrapers, pliers, pens, pencils, etc, etc. More chisels. Yeah, some very nice chisels. Very nice chisels. So yeah, basically woodworking tools. Around to this corner here, up on the wall, I have all my longer rules. I've just recently hung them up here. They were normally stashed behind the lathe. That didn't quite work very well, so I eventually hung them on the wall here. Next to it, I've got some more OCD boxes, which have got little bits of hardware, eyelets, nuts, bolts, washers. So there's two of those. Pity they don't match, but I've got two of those. Small heater, 3 kilowatt heater, which is quite efficient as far as heating up the workshop, but it's not the best and it's very expensive to run. This can just be pulled off the shelf, put on the floor, warms up the workshop. It's an engineer's vice down there, and my trolley jack and extension lead. So obviously they're near the garage door, because obviously if I'm going to do any mechanical stuff, it's going to be outside. This is obviously the garage door. Yeah, it's a roller shutter. I decided, oh, it's open, and stop, and shut. Voice controlled, yeah. Open, oh, stop, and shut. Very impressive. Anyway, moving on. Right, over in the corner here, I have some of my dust extraction. I've got a Fox dust chip extractor here with a nice new hose on it, which I got today. I'll show you how I fit that onto my main thing I'm going to use that for is the planer thicknesser. But that will obviously fit on most of the other power tools I've got here, even though you shouldn't restrict this because it's a chip extractor. So up here I have a normal dust extractor, which is also on a 100mm hose. Don't know if you can see it there. That's on a 100mm hose as well, which actually goes down into this trunking along here, all the way along here. Comes out this end, so I can use it for my bandsaw, and also there's another outlet here. There's another outlet here, which I can use obviously for my chop saw. Okay, just below my dust extraction I have my compressor, which I've only just repaired because one of the unions on the pipe was broken. So one of my friends helped me out. Thanks, Alan, top man. Little 7-inch vise. It's a wooden vise. I've got a record vise in the top of my toolbox, which I repaired a little while ago. I'd like to put that on here as well, but I don't quite have the room. A Titan 700 watt drill press. I used to have a little Clark unit, which wasn't very manly at all. This one is more like 1 horsepower. It's very good. I'm very impressed. Keyless chuck, as I say, 700 watts. There's nothing that I've been drilling through. Most of the things have been wood, obviously, but nothing I've been drilling through that it hasn't been able to manage. Even using some Forstner bits, quite large Forstner bits, it has no problem. So highly recommend one of these. So that's a Titan 700 watt. Got this from Screwfix. Good value. Next to it I have my Metabo chop saw, 10-inch chop saw. This is a replacement for an old JCB unit I had, and previous to that I had a Titan unit which was a bit scary. This one's much more predictable. I like this. The only problem is, obviously, I have to have it pulled out quite far to get the movement at the back. Now basically it hangs over the edge, so what I need to do now is make an extension table that I can remove and refit whenever I use this. So that needs some work, I think. But yes, this saw, again, I would recommend it, otherwise I wouldn't have it. Good saw. Underneath that I have some roller cabinets that I made for boxes, Festool boxes. Now obviously loads of Festool boxes, but absolutely no Festool tools. I can't afford them, they're too expensive. Maybe in the future. But these, I didn't know if they were going to work, but these work a treat. They basically pull out. Oh, here we go. I've actually got the holes in the top, the gaps, the distances all the same as the Festool MFT, so I can use that effectively for putting dogs in here. I can put clamps in here, and this works really well. Also use this as an outfeed table and an infeed table for my table saw, and because that one worked, what I did is I made another one. So effectively I've got 2 of these, both the same height as my table saw. I'll do you a quick demo on how I use those with my table saw. Okay, let's put it back. Job done. Talking of table saws, here we go. Right, under here is my table saw. It's an Axminster Hobby Series table saw. It's not quite man enough for a majority of the stuff I do, but it has a cast iron table. Let's see if I can pull it out. Let's just disconnect my... Okay, as you can see, cast iron table saw, which needs a clean, obviously. It's also got this sliding table at the side. Setting that up is relatively easy. This sometimes goes out of adjustment, but overall it's quite good. It's got a very basic fence, but it is relatively accurate. Obviously every now and again have to do a little bit of adjustment to make sure it's still in true. And the other end of the table saw, and then this end, is my router table. And basically this is just dusty. This fixes on here. I've got a router table, or I can just use my fence with a piece of wood clamped to it to act as a fence. The actual insert here one of the small table saws that you buy from Aldi's or Lidl's. It comes with a little table. It's a little table, comes with legs and etc. All I did was bought that, took it apart, used this base, which has obviously got most of the features on it that I need for actually clamping my fence to it, and also clamping the router to the bottom. Now the router I'm using at the moment is a JCB. I don't know if we can see it under here, a bit sideways. Yeah, JCB 1/2 inch router is in there. Sorry they went sideways, but tripod. Works very well. A lot of the stuff I do now I do with just a hand router. If I do need a table based router, then this is good. Again, it can do most of the things I need it to do. Right, let's just put this back. Again, it's on wheels and it's out of the way. Okay, above my workbench, I've only just redone all of this. There was a shelf up there previously, but it was sort of doing this. So I took it all down, replaced it all. Up there, basically I've got long items, bits of old drain pipe and plastics, which is all fairly light stuff. I've got some table legs, shiny table legs, long clamps here and here, nice and easily accessible, keeps them nice and flat. I've actually added magnets here, up here and here for drill bits. Now I never thought I would ever use one of these magnets things. They're nuts. They're really good. I would recommend having one of those just for a couple of odd drill bits. All the rest of the drill bits are obviously in the drawer, but if you just want to drill a hole, you know how big you want to drill it, just grab a drill, sorted. Clamps, obviously 1 or 2 clamps here. Not quite enough clamps, I need some more, because I've got a space here, look, space. I could put some more clamps in there. Pencil. You can never find a pencil. Drill a hole in a bit of wood and put a pencil in it. Got some framing type of clamps there. F-type clamps. Speed clamps. All of these speed clamps are from Aldi's. Yep, I've had those quite a few years and I use them a lot and they're very good. Just pop them back on there. And the red ones are from Lidl's, not so good. Yeah, a couple of long reach G clamps there. Up above it here, I've got my power tool charging station. So I've got room for a couple of Stanley batteries, some work zone batteries, which I use a lot of work zone tools. So a lot of batteries are the same. That's going to be another video because there's a change in the batteries, but another video. Dremel charger and some small charger batteries for small battery chargers for other drills. Up here I've got I like the Stanleys, very good. Stanley drill driver as well. There's a few DeWalt, there's a DeWalt up there and a small driver as well. Up here in this corner, towel. Yep, that's a good idea. Bit of an old curtain rail, put some towel on it. Good stuff. And here, got some PPE stuff, mask, ear defenders, face mask, high-vis jacket, just in case I get lost in the workshop, and some goggles. And some more clamps. That's that. Okay, and I think we're basically back to the beginning now. We have got over here, I've got my squares next to my chisels. But I think that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed that. It was a very quick lightning skip around the workshop. If there's anything you'd like me to do a review on, I'll be quite happy to do it. Some of the tools I've been using, what I would recommend, what I wouldn't recommend, just let me know what you want to know. So join me again for the next video. Hopefully I'll be making something next time. I've got, I forgot the lights. I've changed the lights to LED lights. These are the business. Now I saw these on YouTube. First installed I saw by Peter Millard, who does 10-minute workshop, very good. And also the Gospel Handyman, who's also done an installation. I'm going to do a video on my installation of these, and I will link Peter and Andy, the Gospel Handyman. I'll link their builds into that video. Alright, but yeah, I highly recommend those. Thanks guys. Right, I think that'll do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, let me know. Next video, keep tuned and we'll let you know what's going on. Alright, see you later. Bye. So, clang. Okay, as you can see, I've got sliding doors. Now, the reason for that was when I designed the kitchen,